Hi there, Wendy Cos right here. How you guys doing? So I'm replying to this comment right here. If you want your clipper to last long for you, then you have to make it a duty to take care of your clipper, because how much you take care of it will determine the durability, will determine how much or how long it's going to last for you. And I have a couple of tips that I'm going to be sharing with you on how to take care of your clipper, what to do and what not to do so that your clipper will last long. Come with me. For your clipper to last long, one of the number one things you must know about it is that you must not leave hair on your blade after every haircut. Once you are done shaving, once you are done cutting hair, you must dust off hair just like this from the clipper. Because if there is hair on the clipper, if there is hair on the blade, it's going to make the blade rust. It's going to affect the functioning or the potency of the blade. You understand? The sharpness of the blade. So you must dust off hair from the blade after every haircut, after every shaving, after every use. That's the one of the number one things you need to know that will make your clipper last long. The second way to make your clipper last long for you, to extend the durability of both the clipper itself and the blade, is to oil your blade every time. You oil the blade before, during, and after use. Once you want to use the clipper, I recommend you oil the blade. While using the clipper, you need to oil the blade. After every use, after brushing off hair from the blade, you need to oil it and keep it. And I always recommend putting the clipper on before oiling. I feel like it helps the oil go round. You understand? So I put at the edge, at the center, then at the edge, and that's it. The third thing I want to talk about is, apart from your oil and your spray sterilizer, nothing else that is water should touch you or your blade or your clipper as a whole. Yes, it's going to affect the clipper. Okay? If someone comes in with wet hair, dry the hair off, wash and dry the hair before you start cutting. If someone comes in sweating, wash and dry the hair. Make sure the hair is dry before you put your clipper in, because wet hair affects the clipper blade and the clipper as a whole eventually. So no, as in on no account should water touch your clipper, either the blade or the clipper as a whole. It's going to affect it. So keep it in a cool and dry place. The fourth thing I want to talk about is to ensure that your clipper lasts long for you. When you put on the blades, make sure that they are always well aligned. Your clipper blades must be well aligned. Sometimes you see somebody putting on clipper and you see that the smaller blade is in the other end, the bigger blade is in the other end. It's going to affect the clipper. You understand? If it's a rechargeable clipper like this, trust me, there's a spring that is inside that holds the smaller blade. If your blades are not aligned, over time, that spring is going to break. And I don't think there's anywhere, unless it's someone decides to give you, I don't think there's anywhere they are selling that spring separately from the clipper. Okay, so align your clipper blades every time to avoid that spring getting broken, because if it breaks, it renders your clipper useless. It's as in you just have to buy another one. Please, apart from the spring breaking, it also helps your work, because if the blades are not well aligned, it's going to affect. Sometimes you might even wound somebody on the head, a customer on the head. So I recommend you align your clipper blades very well. If the fifth thing I want to talk about is about the clipper blades itself, I recommend resharpening your clipper blades once. If you buy a clipper, the clipper comes with a blade, and you continue using the blade and they go as in they are worn out, I recommend you sharpen it once. After sharpening it, continue using it. By the time the blade goes blunt again, I recommend you change the blades. Yes, buy a new set of blades and change. It's going to, elongate the life of your clipper. Another thing I want to talk about is, this is what I do. I don't know for other barbers. I do it and I think it helps me. When I'm not using a clip, because I have quite a number of clippers, so I cannot use all of them. Imagine 8 clippers. I cannot use all of them at the same time because I'll always have to oil the blades, because if you leave a blade and not oil it, over time the blade is going to rust. So when I'm not using a clipper, when the clipper is not in use for quite as in a long period of time, I like to remove the blade just like this and keep the clipper and keep the blade separately. And most times when you see me remove blade like this, it, most times they are usually blades that as in the blades that I intend to change. You understand? I want to dispose, so I just keep this thing itself, because if you leave the blade on the clipper and you're not oiling it often, it will start rusting. Once it start rusting, it's going to affect the clipper on the inside. So I recommend, when your clipper is not on use for a quite number of an extended period, I recommend you remove the blade and keep it just like this. The next thing I want to talk about is, to make your clipper last long for you, you must do deep cleaning on the clipper. Just like this one, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's very dirty inside because I just removed the blade not quite long. So I usually like to clean the blades, clean the clipper on the inside. This thing, all this hair on the inside, if you don't clean them, it usually affects the clipper. Okay, usually affects even the function, even the cutting. Sometimes you feel like your blade is not sharp. The blade is actually sharp is because the inside of the clipper is very dirty. Okay, so I recommend you, as in, do some deep cleaning on the clipper once in a while. It's going to elongate the life of your clipper. I think this video is getting long. We'll continue in another video. Okay, bye guys.